I am joined by the man from Down Under, Francis Chua. Thank you for joining us, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for joining us. I was uh, I was looking for some stories to cover, and I know your manager Tony very well, and
Yeah.
he was telling me about this guy he's got, who he chucked in to fight Kai McKenzie, the WBO number two at the time. He said, everyone's saying I'm mad. Everyone's saying I'm absolutely mad. He's like, he's going to beat him. And you walked through him. And yeah. And since you've kind of been doing well, yeah. Tell me about that moment. Let's start there in this interview. Tell me about that fight and the lead up, because that was huge. That was like the biggest upset in Australian boxing almost ever.
Yeah, that was it was funny because I've been fighting on Tony's shows in just the small local ones in Perth, and then yeah. Anyway, this guy came yeah. What is it? Carmen Kenzie came here to fight, and everyone said, yeah, he's ranked number two. He's had 20 knockouts, 21 wins, all this stuff, right? He was massive already. And anyway, we watched him fight. And I said to my trainer, I said to Jay Gray, I said, mate, how do I get to fight someone like this? You know, like how do I get a chance? You know, and my trainer goes, mate, you'll never get a chance unless you start, winning fights and knocking people out, or if you have a lot of money or something like that. You know. Anyway, the next fight was me, because Tony, what is it that? There was a big show coming up. Jeff Horn and Anthony Mundine,
Yeah, that was
and
huge, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mackenzie was on that show. Anyway, he was trying to find all these other fighters to fight him,
Yeah.
but it was last minute kind of notice, and no one was ready, so everyone rejected him. And then so Tony put my name up there, and supposedly they weren't going to do it, but because what is it, Kai McKenzie, he was gunning to fight Lomachenko. And Lomachenko is a southpaw, and I'm a southpaw. So Tony threw it to them, and he was saying, look, if you can't beat Francis, who's a southpaw, what are you going to do with Lomachenko, So then they took the bait. They took the bait, and they're like, yeah, all right, let's get Francis on there. And that was only like two and a half weeks notice kind of thing. And yeah, man, I was over the moon. I trained really. I was always training, but I only really picked it up that when we found out. So I trained really hard, and when I was there, oh man, it's such a good feeling, because it was in Brisbane, what is it, stadium, and it's like I was there a year earlier to watch Manny Pacquiao fight Jeff Horn.
Oh wow, cool.
I was there in Brisbane watching Manny Pacquiao fight Jeff Horn, and Jeff Horn won, and that was a wicked fight. Anyway, good atmosphere, and thousands of people everywhere. I was right at the back, and I was there, and I was telling my wife, I was like, oh man, one day I'm gonna be on a stage like this. One day. A year later, I was there with Kai McKenzie. It was crazy, man. When I came out, I was so nervous. I think it actually shows in the fight how nervous I was, but
yeah,
I just pushed hard, and yeah, I got the decision. Lucky for me.
Yeah, good man, and a huge decision it was. A lot of people saying it shouldn't have even been a split decision. A lot of people said you won it very, very, very comfortable. But let's go pre that fight, because you well, according to BoxRec, anyway, you'd only been pro not even a year and a half.
Yeah.
You made your debut in May 2017. You fought Kai McKenzie for the first time in end of 2018. So you hadn't even been a pro very long. Had you even amateur background?
Oh, my amateur background. Well, I'm 35 now. Yeah. I've been boxing since I was 24.
Yeah, you look really young.
I mean, my amateur background was really, really bad. I was a heavy drinker. You know,
Yes.
what is it? Like the first time I fought was for a tournament. I fought twice, made it to the finals, but lost. And then I didn't go back to boxing for 2 years. And then I fought again twice, didn't go back for another 2 years. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it was very staggered. I wasn't training probably. My trainer hated me, you know,
Yeah.
at that time. But yeah, it's I turned pro May 2017. It was after I got married and had my first child. Oh, I only have one child, but yeah, after I had my child and I got married, that's when I stopped drinking. I started putting myself together, and then I had a lot of energy, so I started training more. And then the guys at the gym where I changed gyms. There was a few pros there, you know, and I was sparring with them, and I was thinking, man, I'm pretty much the same as them, you know, like well, we're going toe to toe, and they're doing it. And one guy had like 3 kids, you know. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll give it a crack, you know. And then we had a team. It was actually me, this guy Francisco de Silva, and Jackson England, who you going to talk to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's part of our team. Yeah, we all started the same time, you know. So it was awesome, man. Like as in like when we go for the long runs, I never ran by myself. I hated running. That was the first time I started running, you know. And I was running with him
Yeah.
and with Francisco Jackson as well. And then yeah, we started doing the long runs and just training together, and just that teamwork. You know, that's all we needed. That's all I needed, you know. And it just kept pushing me, and then before you know it, I was just fighting. I didn't think anything of it. I just, yeah, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's try pro, see what happens. And then, yeah, the first fight I had was like against a tough, what is it? Well, who is it? Thai guy with like 20 fights, 10 wins, you know, and who knows how many Muay Thai fights he had. He had
Yeah, that
tattoos
was your
everywhere.
debut.
He was
Yeah, you
actually in a,
got.
he was actually in a movie I watched, some gangster movie in Thailand, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's actually in the movie, you know. He's got
That's
all the tattoos
crazy.
and everything. So I was like, oh man, this guy's like a celebrity too, you know. So it was
So
pretty
that's your
cool.
debut. Yeah, that's your debut,
That was my debut.
2017.
I think I
That,
had one of the toughest debuts out of most people, but I didn't care because I was already a
yeah,
little
that's
bit
a really
older
tough
than
debut.
most other guys.
Well,
And I
man.
told my trainer, I said, mate, give me the best fights. I don't care. Just give me whatever. But the problem was
Yeah.
over here, it was like I was already lined up with local people, and then they pulled out. I think I had like 2 pullouts, so we had no choice. And then so we had to sell tickets and everything to cover the Thai guy to fly over, you know. And then that's tough. That's a tough game, you know. Like I don't have sponsors, I don't have money, you know. Like it's,
I know,
yeah,
man.
you have to
I
sell
do
enough
know.
tickets, and
I do know.
we
Yeah.
sold enough tickets. Our team ended up selling enough tickets for everything, you know. But yeah,
It is what it is. Yes, mate. Yes, mate. I
it is. But
completely understand.
my amateur record is I've only had 20 amateur fights, um, and I only won 11 of those, you know. But
Not too bad.
I do
Not too
say
bad.
though, during my amateurs, probably majority of my fights, there was always like an 8 count. I always gave someone an 8 count in my fights. Probably like 80% of the fights, there was always 8 counts. You
Mm.
know, so yeah, I think I was all right. I just never trained hard enough. That's
Yeah.
all it was. I was always gassed after the second round. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was so crazy.
So let's talk. So you talk about no training. You were talking about drinking earlier, and
Yeah.
I heard you were an alcoholic, um, and a
I
lot,
was
but
uh, I was a
like
social drinker. So
so what? Like so,
yeah,
like a raver, yeah. You're like
nah, I
going
have
out
gone to
all
a rave,
night
but
in
I
drinking
wouldn't say raves.
terms, yeah.
I was like a binge drinker kind of thing. When I'm
Yeah,
out with my mates, I was like,
just drink
yeah,
all
I'll
night.
get this party started. I'll drink with everyone, and before I knew it, I was plastered. You know,
Yeah,
and then
and what that was
and
just
then
that was a regular habit, yeah.
yeah, there was one time there wasn't every second day I was probably drunk. Even
Every
even though
second day
even
you were
during
getting
work, I
pissed,
still
yeah. Ooh.
hey
So
yeah.
how what you would get absolutely smashed every other day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I wasted all my money that I got during the week. I pretty much spent it all on just drinking and going out. Um, yeah, it was getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was getting. Well, the thing is, I say that, but then that's how I met my wife, though. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
really?
we were out in a club, you know. We were out in the club, you know. And I was doing
Go
the
out,
whole, you
yeah.
know, what we do when we're out. And I bought her a drink and everything, and yeah. And then yeah, she didn't like me because I was, yeah. But I
Yes,
kept
and stuff,
persisting,
yeah.
persisting, and lucky we ended up mutual friends and things like that. And one thing led to another, and she fell for me, you know. And then yeah,
Okay, so
that
that,
was
that
it.
and that kind of steered you off the getting drunk every other day, and so
Uh,
oh, one thing
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
one thing I want to.
probably a good 6 years later after I met her. But yeah,
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So that had nothing
yeah,
to
yeah.
do with
So
it. Okay, okay. Let's go. So when you're drinking during your amateur, are you like on hangovers when you're in your amateur days?
Oh no, 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 not at all, not at
Oh
all.
no,
When usually when I started for my amateurs, I had like 2 weeks before the fight. So that 2 weeks I didn't drink. It was like that.
no.
It's like I was training a
Sorry,
little bit. Then the trainer just goes,
I've gone a bit
"This is
too
at my
deep
other
into
gym.
it. Don't
This is
worry
at my
about
other gym." And then he just goes, "Oh, we got a fight coming up. You want to do it?" And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." He goes, "2 weeks, okay, done." And I trained really hard for that 1 week. I trained so hard that all the skin comes off my feet. You know what I mean? Like I got blisters on my feet, and then I go into the fight.
it. Yeah. It's
You
right
know,
because
so it's
you look
like
really
that.
good for your age. You're the same age as
Oh,
me, 35.
thanks, mate.
You look pretty fresh,
Yeah.
man. You look pretty fresh out there.
Yeah,
You're fresher than me, anyway.
I feel good. I feel good. I feel the best I've ever been, mate. I'm telling you. So yeah.
Perth sunshine, man. Perth sunshine. So brilliant. So back on the straight and narrow. So what, you married your wife just like before you turned professional then? So
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. No,
coincided.
I was 30.
Yeah.
I was 30, and then I married her, and then it was after that. Yeah,
Got
after we got
serious.
married and
Whole
had
life
our kid.
got serious.
Hey,
Your whole life
pardon?
got serious. Your kind of whole life got serious along with your boxing career,
Serious?
yeah?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with relationships are hard, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was not easy. I was on and off with my now wife like for like 5 years kind of thing. You know, she's seen the worst of me, drinking, peeing myself, peeing on the bed. You know, like it was horrible, man, horrible. And she still stayed with me. She still stayed with me, man. And like,
Okay.
yeah, who can put up with someone like that? And she still stayed with me. And yeah. Anyway, it's hard. Life is a fight. That's how I end up seeing it. Life was a fight, and it's not easy. But boxing's you're always fighting. It's always, and I realize it's mainly a fight with yourself.
Yeah.
Boxing was all a fight with yourself. That's just how it was in life, and and I just wanted to be the best person I can be for my family, you know, for my wife and my kid, and then boxing helped me do that
Yeah.
without a doubt. You know, that just the whole fight with yourself, the discipline, not looking after yourself. I was healthy. I was so much better when I just started training properly and had our team and just doing that, And then I like at the beginning, I think I was using boxing more as a way to just control my feelings, and try to be a better person and things like that. But then I like right now, if I didn't have boxing, I'll still be a good person now.
Yeah.
Like I already got it in me
Was that
how I
age
want
in
to
it?
be in life.
I get you, man.
Okay?
I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm at the same sort of age as you. This around this sort of time, you start getting a bit more serious.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
natural growth.
more.
Yeah,
It's just more about life.
yeah,
That's all it was. And like, what makes you a better person? And the thing is, boxing just helped me, helped everyone else around me as well. Like when I talk about boxing and how it's helped me, that's the most important thing. The fight with yourself. Like the trainer goes, "Oh, one more round." You can't do it, man. Like you're knackered. You can't do it. But then you somehow get up and you do that one more round. Like it's crazy. Like just pushing yourself to the absolute limit. And then I bring that at home. I tell my wife, look, the whole never give up attitude of boxing or fighting, I bring it at home. And sometimes when we have a little argument, I just tell her, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going anywhere. We're fighting, and I'll never leave you. And then then before we make up. Like that is it's that attitude from boxing that's really hit me hard. That never give up attitude. I don't like the whole like aggro side of it, and I want to punch your head in and all that kind of stuff. That has nothing to do with it for me. Yeah. I'm just doing this completely because when you have a compete, it really teaches you a lot about yourself. When you get hit in the head, are you a coward? Are you going to cower or are you going to fight back? And I know generations, we're all here now because we're all fighters, man. We wouldn't be here if our family, our ancestors didn't fight hard through all the wars and all the diseases through the world. If they didn't fight, man, we wouldn't be here. So we're natural born fighters, all of us. And just to bring that out, I think boxing does. And I bring that with me, like that attitude with me everywhere in life. Now I work really hard, man, and after work, I train. I train when I can, But at the moment, there's no fight, so I'm training a little bit less, which is good. The body's really loose. The body's really good at the moment. But I know soon the shed just came up at my trainer's house, and that's going to be like full on. I think next week's going to be like, we're starting
Get back
again.
to next week, yeah?
Wait.
Get back to next week. Nice. So, you were at the gym today. Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, that's when we set this up.
Yeah,
so.
That's where we go for sparring with the big rigs.
Yeah, tell me about that. Perth, coronavirus, obviously. Tony sent me pictures of like 30,000 people in a stadium watching Australian rules football. So we must be able to have some boxing events with fans in, surely, soon in Perth, Australia.
Well,
or not?
Well, there was supposed to be one like recently.
Yeah.
But because of COVID and because they usually there's not enough people here in Perth. That's the problem. Like not enough fighters, not enough boxers.
Yeah.
So it was hard for the local people to like no one wanted to fight each other. That's how it ended up being.
Oh right. Okay.
I think there was only one fight, and then the show had to be cancelled, or something like that. And that's a bit of a bummer. But like I want to fight. I want to keep sharp, but I'll leave it up to Tony who I fight and what's happening.
Yeah.
Because they want to fly people here, but then there's a lockdown there's actually like no one allowed to come to WA kind of thing. It's like lockdown.
Oh, still like that. So like the other. So yeah, people who don't know that, like Australia is basically in terms of coronavirus borders, it's like kind of 4 or 5 countries at the moment. So like the border shut off between Western Australia, Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria.
Yeah, that's right.
That's still the case.
Yeah, it is. Because the biggest cases are in Victoria,
still
and then in New South Wales kind of thing. And so they're kind of locked off to everyone else. I think we're easier to get to Brisbane. Yeah, but yeah, Perth, the guys here in Perth, they pretty much locked down the borders. No one's really allowed to come in. I have a cousin that's stuck in Melbourne at the moment. He's not allowed to fly into Perth. So but the thing is, Perth here, it's because of that we're so good. I'm pretty much running the business. Everything's pretty much normal for us.
Well, the amount, I suppose,
like you said, the stadium was packed full of people. Cool. They're meant to have this 1 meter distancing. No one did it because there's no problem here.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah. So good. Okay, that's cool. So let's talk about. Let's go back to your career. Obviously, you had that big win against Kai McKenzie. You had another fight you won, and then you fought Kai McKenzie again.
Yeah.
Bit of controversy there, man. Bit of controversy in that fight. A lot of people unhappy. Yeah. What did you think? What did you think about that? Were you robbed? Do you feel grieved, Francis? How do you feel?
I don't feel grieved. it's funny. I'm at a different stage already. I'm not. You know, I know you leave it up to the judges, things like that. I was trying not to leave it up to the judges, but it's
Yeah.
really hard. The way I fight, I'm just kind of busy and I kind of grind people down. You know what I mean? Um, it was hard. I really thought he was going to give way. He took some massive shots, and I give it to him, man. I hit him hard, and he came back straight away. You know, or like pretty much straight away. Like he didn't. Yeah, he didn't just cower in the corner kind of thing. He was fighting back. This was like my trainer said, this is the best Kai McKenzie you've seen. This is the Kai McKenzie that knocks people out. This is the 20 knockout guy, you know? And I loved it that I was able to bring that out of him. It's because it was me he was fighting that he trained so hard and brought that out of him. And because I was fighting him, I trained hard, man. You know what I mean? I really, we were ready for this fight, and it showed. That was the best fight. That's my first 10-round fight, and the whole 10 rounds we were going at it. You know, there's one little bit maybe I slowed down a little bit, but that was nothing. Even when I slowed down, didn't feel I was hurt in any way.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I was walking forward the whole time and just and you can see it in my face. You know, like the after images. You know, have you seen it? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen both highlights. I've seen one of the highlights. I've seen one of the full fights. And yeah, great stuff. Can we see maybe a trilogy? It's 1-1. Can we see a trilogy?
Right.
Settle the score. Kai McKenzie. What about that? No or yes?
Sorry, that was my phone just called.
Yeah.
Mate, I do not mind at all. I'm telling you, I would love that fight on a big stage. The Aussies cheering. Everyone kind of knows us already, so I reckon it will be a really awesome matchup. You know, and judging by the last fight, it was entertaining. Well, when I watch it, I get entertained. You know, like I'm like, oh man,
yeah, really
crazy,
good stuff.
You know?
Great stuff, man.
I think that'll really, like, for Aussie fans, it'll be a fight. It'll be a good fight, and also, I'll be better. I'll be better than McKenzie will be better, and yeah, it'll be a really good fight. I hope it happens, but if not, all I want is like fights that will lead me to something else. Because I'm a little bit older, you know what I mean. I want to, like, I want to fight anyone, but I want to fight like so that like for belts or something. You know what I mean. Like that was for a belt. That's awesome. You know, for a WBA belt, man, I was over the moon. You know, I've been offered that kind of thing. You know, so yeah, I want to be offered more chances like this with the belts and things like that. And I just leave it in Tony's hands. He goes, I know you want to fight anyone, but leave it with me. I'll do it. You know, so.
Yeah. Well, so like realistically, we're hoping to see you in a ring maybe in a few months. What do you think? How do we get back in the ring?
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping just as soon as possible, man. Even if someone gives me a call 2 weeks notice, I'm going, man. Like if it's a good deal, I'll go.
Yeah. Would you go abroad? Can you go abroad? Can you go to another country and fight?
Oh, Tony's going, isn't he?
Yeah. He is. Yeah. So open offers. Francis Chua.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I think we're able to. There's exemptions for sports people.
So yeah, anyone listening, give Francis a ring.
But it doesn't matter. If it's worth it, I'll make the effort for sure.
Yeah.
But I know who. Like I could fight tomorrow. I'm telling you, I'll fight. I'll give 100%. I may not be 100%, but I will give 100%. You know, of myself every fight, man. I'm telling you.
Good man. Good man. Well, brilliant. Well, we'll leave it there, Francis. What a great chat. Thank you so much.